Good morning, everybody. This is Pastor John with another edition of Monday Morning Quarterback. So yesterday we talked about those really difficult words of Jesus, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. And the first thing that I talked about was that Jesus was serious. He wasn't being hypothetical or metaphorical. He was telling us, this is what I want my disciples to aim for. Knowing we would probably fall short once in a while, but basically he was saying, this is how the kingdom is going to be won. And there's no other way. So learn to love your enemies or, sit back and wait for the kingdom. But this is how it's going to be won. And what I really wanted to touch on today was the fact that, we in the world in which we live, where we have so much at our fingertips, and so many of our whims and desires can be fulfilled, with a couple taps of a button. We don't quite understand the concept of what my dad used to call delayed gratification, But what Jesus is talking about is a principle that he wants us to live into, even though we may not see the results of that principle. See, we like the sort of, TV version of life, where if we do the right thing, then we get this reward and it all works out in the end for everyone. But that's not really how life works. And that's not what faithfulness is to Jesus. What Jesus is saying is, I want you to love your enemies, because that's how the kingdom will be won. And we may not win this kingdom in your lifetime, but you are planting those seeds so that it might be won somewhere down the road. So it's taking sort of the longer view, the eternal view of what God is up to. And I wanted to share with you a prayer that is part of it's a part of my nightly prayers. It's part of the Compline service that I read at night. Compline basically means bedtime prayer. But this is a part of the bedtime prayer that I read each night, liturgy that I read each night. And it's the prayer itself was written by Father Ken Unterner. And it was written for the occasion of a mass for deceased priests back in October 25th of 1979. So it's been around for a while, but it's found its way into this liturgical prayer. And this is what the prayer says. And I think this is what Jesus was talking about when he said, "Love your enemies." The prayer says, "This is what we are about. We plant the seeds that will one day grow. We water seeds already planted, knowing that they hold promise. We lay foundations that will need further development. We provide yeast that produces effects far beyond our capabilities. We cannot do everything, and there is a sense of liberation in knowing that. This enables us to do something and do it well. It may be incomplete, but it is a beginning, a step along the way, an opportunity for the Lord's grace to enter and do the rest. We may never see the results." This is the part that I really want you to listen to. We may never see the results, but that is the difference between the master builder and the worker. We are workers, not master builders. Ministers, not messiahs. We are prophets of a future not our own. And that's what Jesus means when he says, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Yes, you may be blessed to turn that enemy into a friend. That may happen. That can happen. And that does happen. But even if it doesn't happen, you have invested in the ultimate victory of the kingdom of God on earth as it is in heaven. And that's pretty cool, I think. Have a wonderful week, my friends. God bless.